Hello, welcome to Sports Bias with Cleveland J. The night has finally arrived. This is my good buddy Joe Gua. Welcome to the Sports Bias, Joe.
Hello, good evening, my friend. Good evening.
So, as you probably know from following us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, we made a big deal about this night and the Ultimate Sports Movie Awards. And when I kind of came up with the idea for the show, Joe was the only person I thought of. And Joe and I really haven't spoke or been around each other in 35 years. We kind of just have always stayed, in each other's minds connected. And just, he's the person I thought of. I thought he had the right personality for it. I wanted to reconnect with him. All the guests I've brought on in the shows prior to this are people just I want to reconnect with and so forth. And Joe's one of the greatest guys I know, and I know he'd be perfect for this big general sports category. So, Joe, thank you for joining us, and I'm happy you're the co-host, and they're going to be seeing a lot of you over the next month.
Yeah, it's good to see you, my friend. It's been a very long time. And what else do we have going on a lovely, balmy February night in Michigan, right? So I know I'm probably a little better shape than you in Traverse City, but Port Huron is cold, my friend, and it's been cold. So let's talk some sports.
Yeah. Let's the winter stinks. So
Yeah.
now watch this. For the people who've been watching the shows so far, watch what I'm about to do here. Huh?
You did it. You did it, Jay.
I remembered this screen. I'm very excited. I like this screen. So this kind of came up randomly. So when I wanted to do the show, I had a list of potential shows that I wanted to do, and definitely a sports movie was at the top of my list. And we were just going to do like a one show thing. And then I started talking about it and posting about it, and those were the ones that people responded to. In the conversations I was having outside of the show, people were excited about that. Even, people that aren't sports fans that love Rudy or Hoosiers or things like that. The Sandlot came up a lot. So it kind of morphed into something bigger. We wanted to do awards. I was actually sitting on the couch one night or one morning, and it just came to me like, I want to do an award show. And that's when I, thought of Joe even better about that. I was like, yeah, he's going to be perfect for an award show.
Yeah.
Awesome. So the idea is we are going to give away the first ever Ultimate Sports Awards, movie awards. So that's exciting. I am actually going to reach out to a whole bunch of people between now and the show. So just so you know, the show is on April 10th. The award show is on April 10th. Voting will start tonight. After the show, the voting will be live, and you'll be seeing all kinds of social media posts and so forth. But what we've done is we put a nomination committee, and Joe is on that nomination committee. Jason Felix, who you're going to be seeing in a little bit, is on the nomination committee along with probably 10 others. And so we all suggested movies, and we took comments from our friends and so forth and put them on there as well. Then I turned the list over to a group of other people to actually make the official nomination. So I have actually seen them today. Joe has not seen them. Felix has not seen them. So this is going to be fun for them to kind of reveal this to them and get their reaction to it. But Joe, I wanted to kind of see if you can tell us a little about what the process was like for you revisiting these movies and coming up with your favorites.
Yeah, Jay, so it brings me back. And when you mentioned we haven't spoken in 35 years, right? My initial thoughts were back 35 years ago. Some of these movies that we may have seen together at the State Theater in downtown Traverse City, right?
Yep.
But just thinking, as my kids started to grow up and different movies I've seen through the years, and gosh, there's just so many, and there's so many funny ones. I know you and I had prior conversations about the comedy section in particular. A lot of them out there, but as I get older, I'm into golf now, Jay, more so, and so there's so many golf movies that start to come to mind, but basketball movies and not so good basketball movies, and again, we'll get into those too a little bit. But so many baseball movies and subcategories that have been created because of that with common actors who we'll get into later as well. But it was really a lot of fun, man. I've always been a big movie buff, a big trivia buff, and I know those things are important to you as well. And it really had to dig deep and kind of pull out of the archives some of these movies that are great, and you and I both love, and some we're going to disagree on. So it's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, we definitely. There's one particular that we'll bring up that we're going to
Well, no,
disagree
there's
on.
more than that, Jay.
Joe and I are going to embarrass each other, or embarrass ourselves, I should say, with one of our favorites. Um,
Yes.
and yeah, for me, it was just fun reminiscing about the movies and ones I've forgotten about, and then having conversations with you and the rest of the nomination committee and my friends, and even Annetta posting stuff on Facebook. Annetta's my wife. She's actually going to join us tonight too. We'll talk about that in a little bit. She's going to join us with some movies that she thinks that the committee should have considered.
Okay.
I kept on telling her Ferris Bueller is not a sports movie. Just because they were at a Cubs game doesn't make it a sports movie. So she's going to come on and utter some nonsense, but she wants her say. She wants her say, so we're going to bring her on the show. But yeah, it was fun just reminiscing about the movies and all the ones you forgot about. Were there ones that you had forgot about that kind of stick to your mind now?
Oh, sure, sure. Yeah, absolutely, Jay. And look, one of the things I'm most looking forward tonight is Netta coming on and sharing that. So I love how you downplay her right from the beginning. I think she's going to be great. I think she may definitely do a better job than you in some areas of that. So I'm very excited for that. And first of all, I want to just give you kudos for actually remembering to share the screen the right way, because I've seen the show a couple times and you talk about it over and over and over, but you actually remember it, man. So kudos on
Very
that.
proud of myself right now. And
Yes, me too. Me too.
I have no doubt Annette is going to be great. I just think what she's going to say is going to be ridiculous. So she's
All
always
right.
great. But we will see. We were trying to get my buddy Brad Valentine on, and I'll save this story for the boxing category because I have to share some. I was hoping he was going to be on, but he had a dinner commitment with his family, so he couldn't make it. But I am going to share and embarrass him a little bit because he has a
All
ridiculous
right.
take on boxing. But also, I guess one of my hopes is that people go out and rewatch some of these movies. Since this has started, I've rewatched them, watched all the trailers for sure, pulled up different clips, different scenes, and so forth. But I've definitely rewatched them and made a list of ones. There's some on the list, like we had a list of like 1,500 sports movies on here. So didn't watch all those, but I have a list of ones I want to rewatch or some that I haven't seen. I think I've seen all the ones that are nominated. I actually don't think that's true. But anyway, it was fun, and I hope other people go out and watch it. You have a month or so to go out and watch these, so hopefully that triggers some interest in the movies. On the voting, you're going to see a link to the IMDb page, the trailer from IMDb, so you can kind of get a feel or a reminder what the movie's about before you cast your vote. So we'll talk about it later. But I think we need to jump into it, Joe. I think we're done
Let's
saying
go.
what we need to say. Let's go.
Yeah,
All right,
let's
we are going
roll
to
with it.
start off with the best picture in the basketball subcategory. Who are our nominees, Joe?
All right, I love it, and some of these going back to, like I said, white men can't jump, kicking it off, and how many we could fill up a show with just quotes from that
Yes.
movie.
So pretty.
Hoosiers,
So pretty.
so pretty. Hoosiers, uh, absolutely, probably up for several categories here, but great movie. Glory Road, also college basketball. I love it. It's my favorite. College hoops is my jam and my passion. So I love the college hoops. We have Love and Basketball, and then Hoop Dreams, which, gosh, that's I can't remember the year exactly it came out, Jay, but it's been 25 years probably.
Yeah, I don't. That's one thing I don't have is the dates on here. But yeah, it's been a while, and I've forgotten how good that movie is. I've forgotten how good Love and Basketball is. I love Omar Epps. I loved him on ER, and that was a really, really good show. One of my favorites, and I think one of my suggestions for this category was Glory Road. I thought it was phenomenal. And Hoosiers, I don't know where let me see where they have it on. IMDb has it as, let's see here, in the basketball as number 4, the number 4 all-time sports movie. So I know that's going to be get a lot of votes from people, but this is a strong category. This is a strong
Yeah,
category. 'Cause I was surprised that there was more basketball movies in IMDb than baseball.
no kidding.
Yeah.
Wow. Just a little tidbit here on Hoosiers, and Indiana's a little bit unique in this. So, in the state of Michigan, where we are now, Jay, there's always classifications for high school hoops. In Indiana, the Hoosier State, there is not. They actually start playing and eliminating one another. So you could, I believe it's still this way. You can
Yeah,
run
they actually did
into.
change it about 5, 6 years ago.
Oh,
But
did they? Did they?
yeah,
Okay. So the way it used to be is you could run into a powerhouse, from a city of 1 million people versus a team that's out in the middle of the
yep,
sticks with 200 people. So
yeah.
that was fascinating, and Indiana was very unique for that. So fantastic, classic movie.
Yeah, I lived in Indiana for a long time, and it was like that. I mean, I lived in a small town, and every year there were these little schools that knocked off bigger schools. I'm really disappointed that they changed it because it was. I mean, it didn't happen often that you got somebody to make a run all the way to the finals, but it was still exciting. It was an exciting element that whatever. But Hoosiers is going to do
Joey
great in this
Chitwood.
category.
Joey Chitwood, right?
Yeah, Joey Chitwood. That's right.
Yes.
Yes, and who was a shooter? What was the actor who played Shooter? Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper for Shooter.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And I think we'll probably see Gene Hackman later in today's show. So yeah,
Oh,
Hoosiers is
nice.
a great show. So that would be my pick. I think that's probably who wins this category, but any of them are going to be great. All right. So
Yeah, I agree.
we're going to move on to a really fun category, and probably the one that is making me laugh the most. And I will tell you a second. So we are going to move on to the worst movie of all time. It's our only negative category. It's our only negative category. And so we have the nominees are Joanna Man. I can't. That my stomach hurts just from all the laughing I've done about that movie. So Joanna Man, Semi Pro, Ed. Oh my gosh. Ed, Blades of Glory. I think we have the Spanish version cover on there. I think it looks like. And Basketball. There were some really,
Yeah.
really bad, as you mentioned earlier, Joe. There were some really bad movies. I think the committee kind of got it right with these because these are awful.
Matt LeBlanc transitioning from what
Friends.
probably 2 million an episode with Friends to Ed. Yes, that happened. Playing baseball with chimpanzee. That was something else. That was something else.
Yeah, Joanna Man. I had totally forgotten about Joanna Man. Have you seen Joanna Man?
I've seen bits and pieces, Jay. I can't say I probably even stuck with it all the way
Yeah,
through,
of
but
course you did. Most people didn't. It's
yes,
about this
yes.
NBA star that gets kicked out of the league, and he's just dying to play basketball, and he joins the women's league as a woman, so he dresses in drag to play, and it's so bad. But for some reason, I just laughed. Brad Ballantyne brought it up, and it was one of his nomination or one of his suggestions.
Yeah.
And I totally had forgotten about it. I'm glad the committee put it on. But to me, I think Ed wins this one. That is so bad, so bad.
Yeah, so Semi Pro, I remember when that debuted. And Jay, I don't even know if you remember this, but when I was young, pre Traverse City days, I grew up in Flint, Michigan.
Yeah,
And so when I saw there was a movie coming, I'd love to see good things about Flint because you hear
sure,
so many bad
sure.
things,
I'm
right?
from Cleveland, so I get it.
Semi Pro came out, and that's Will Ferrell. He's at his prime at that point. But about every other movie he did was, oh man, it was really peaks and valleys. And this, I thought it was going to be a peak, or at least entertain me, and it was tough. It was tough. So rightfully, probably on the list.
Well, he has two on this list, so yeah. All right, we're gonna move on to one of the tougher categories, I think. Hockey, the best picture in the hockey subcategory.
Yeah.
You want to take this one, Joe?
So, yep, I sure will, man. So, Paul Newman kicking it off, Slapshot, right? Just classic. The humor, a lot of good things going for Slapshot, which is probably arguably one of the best sports movies of all time,
Agreed.
especially from a comedy standpoint. Mystery Alaska. Um, the Mighty Ducks, right? I'm not sure how many Mighty Ducks there ended up being, but
25.
that first one we've probably all seen it, 5, 10 times. The Flying V, right? Is that what it
Yeah.
was?
Yes.
Miracle. Again, Jay, we're in our heyday when this comes out in Miracle, and we heard so much about it that I thought it was probably overkill. Great movie,
Yeah.
just fantastic movie. And you have to comment on this last one. I know you used to have posters of him on your wall, but Rob Lowe as
Jackass.
in young. Oh, you still do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry
No.
about that. Hit a nerve.
Youngblood. Yeah, it was a good movie. It was a good movie. He's a pretty boy hockey player that couldn't fight. Then he fights at the end. It's just it's a good movie. So before we comment on what where I'm going with this, yeah, Slapshot is
No,
on top.
I wish you would. I wish you would.
I'm going to. I love Mystery Alaska. The Mighty Ducks. I actually like Mighty Ducks 3. I know Felix likes Mighty Ducks 2. We'll get his opinion when he gets on. He's coming on shortly. Miracle. It's just one of those things where you and I are the age where we grew up, in bomb drills in school, and that threat was so real, and we felt it every day. And when that happened in 1980, it was palpable. It was just it was crazy. So that's in the movie. I thought you can't really
And Jay,
touch
I
that.
remember this. Just quick side note on Miracle. Again, I'm living in Flint at the time, and Ken Morrow, who was a member of the 80 hockey team for USA hockey team, lived in Davison, so just
Mhm.
10 minutes outside of Flint. And I just remember being little, and I was never a big hockey fan or player at all.
Mhm.
But just driving into Davison, you would see that sign for home of Ken Morrow, and I just thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
And the patriotism was at a probably all-time high
Yeah,
for the United
absolutely.
States. We probably need to win another damn gold medal here to bring some
That's not going to happen,
patriotism.
Joe. The
Ooh,
women,
boy.
the women will. The women will. But
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
actually I was watching the clips of it today, and just I was in tears, just like I was then. And I think today it was that our world is so different that when I was watching that, it was just the sense of oneness that everybody rallied around this, and I just don't think that's happening in this day and age. So something like that
Yeah.
could rally a
Agreed.
nation. All right, so this is an interesting category for Joe and I. Joe actually nominated a movie in this category for the best hockey movie. I nominated the same movie as the best overall worst movie of all time.
Wow.
Well,
Wow.
you kind of have the leg up here. You did some research on this. So I said Goon with Stifler from American Pie was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. Take it away. Go ahead.
No. Goon is one of the most underrated hockey films of all time. If you're trying to just throw him into a category as Stifler, you're wrong. You're wrong.
He's
He,
always going to
he,
be Stifler.
yes, but there's some
Stop calling me
meaning, there's some
Steven.
substance, and I had to throw the Rotten Tomatoes at you earlier. But listen, somehow Youngblood made it, and you're stating Rob Lowe fights at the end and Stifler, who is just great throughout, would crush your boy Youngblood there. I
I have
don't
no
know. I
doubt
don't know
about that.
how Youngblood made it, but Goon, watch it again. We have 2 more months of winter. Everyone enjoy it. Goon, it's my personal recommendation. Just give me a thumbs up in the comments when you watch it and you
Oh,
love it because it's so underrated. So, Goon.
we're going to have to get Felix's opinion on this. We got to move on. All right. This is a really tough category. Best female actor in a lead role. This is a tough one. We have Sandra Bullock in The Blind Side, Margot Robbie in I, Tanya, Diane Lane in Secretariat, Amy Adams in Trouble with the Curve, and Gina Davis in A League of Their Own. I have no idea what to do with this category. This is a really, really tough one.
Can we? I know we have contributors that assisted here.
Mhm.
If we leave, I love Amy Adams. I think she's fantastic. We need to throw her out. We're just making a conscious decision to throw that movie, which is so overrated. If you say you love Trouble with the Curve, Jay,
No,
this
I
may go off the tracks.
nope.
Okay.
Did not
Okay.
love it. I thought she was great in it.
Yeah, it was all right.
You're
The
not.
movie wasn't.
It's Margot Robbie for you and everybody else. So don't. You know.
Yeah, she's. I'll give it to Margot Robbie for Trouble with the Curve. She wasn't even in that movie. So, but if you're trying to compare her to Bullock, Lane, Gina Davis, Margot Robbie in this category, she's out. It's. I hate that. I really like Sandra Bullock. I thought she did a nice job there. I would probably lean. Gina Davis was great.
Yeah.
She was great.
Yeah.
I'm all over the place. Yeah.
Yeah. I'd probably lean towards Gina Davis on this, but this is a tough one. I'm not a big Sandra Bullock fan, but she was great in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I love Diane Lane. Always have loved Diane Lane. And
Outsiders days, right? Going
What?
way back. Outsiders days.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I had forgotten that she was in it. I watched that with the kids
Yeah.
like last week or a couple weeks ago, and I had totally forgotten that she was in this movie. Anyway, so we're a little side note. All right. Now to the classic category in sports movies. I think when people think of sports movies, I think baseball is what they think of. I think, there's, seems to be at least bigger sports movies that are baseball. This is a tough category, which is why there are 8 movies nominated. So you want to go?
Yes, yes. We're kicking it off. And again, we're covering a lot of different genres, a lot of funny ones, some more heartfelt ones, but they're all good. And I know you and I have contributed a lot here, Jay. So Major League, just a bit outside. The Bad News Bears, 8 Men Out, Field of Dreams. Again, can we get into my side conversation about that movie when
Yes,
we get
we will.
along?
We will, definitely.
Yes. Bull Durham, the movie 61. 61 is that Roger Maris, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Sandlot, You're Killing Me, Smalls, and The Natural, Robert Redford. So, gosh, a lot of good movies.
Yeah, your Kevin Costner story we're gonna save. We have a special.
Okay.
We have a special thing for that.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean this is an impossible category for me. The Sandlot was my childhood. I mean, it was exactly my childhood. That's exactly what we did. Down to chewing tobacco. My mom's probably watching this. Chewing tobacco, then going on the carnival ride. That exact same thing happened to me. The Sandlot. I will say the Sandlot is one of the ones that people mention the most during this process. That and Major League, to me, the greatest sports movie of all time is Major League. I said it. It's not just that I'm from Cleveland. I just think it's the funniest sports movie of all time. I think it's one of the top 5 funny movies ever of all time. So,
okay. Love it. Jay, I just want to throw it in because I think one of the most unwatched movies on this list would be 8 Men Out. And those of you that don't know, it's a 1919 White Sox scandal where they threw games, and it was shoeless Joe Jackson, his team back then. And so a very interesting watch on how that all went down. And yeah, spend some time this winter. Check it out.
Yeah, some big stars in that, especially when they were young. Some big stars in that. And yeah, Joe Jackson came up last week on our Cleveland Indians show. Everybody remembers him from this and the White Sox, being a White Sox, but he was a Cleveland Indian before that and had a just equally great career as an Indian. In fact, one of us put him on the Mount Rushmore of the Cleveland Indians. But highly suggest watching this film. Say it ain't so, Joe.
That is data you would not get unless the show was called Sports Bias with Cleveland Jay, because a mere mortal would not have that information, Jay. So well played.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, again, voting is going to start right after the show. The voting is going to start tonight with all the categories. You'll click on the link. It'll take you to the form with all the categories. Over the next couple days, you'll see us roll out individual categories. So you'll be able to vote just on Best Picture, just on Best Baseball, just on Best Basketball. And then if you want to do the rest of the categories, when you submit it, there'll be a link to click for all the categories. So, so you can either jump on tonight and vote for all your favorites or kind of wait for those posts to come out. All right, it's time. I am dying to hear what he has to say, but I am going to unmute him. I have to reassign his thing because he got off. I'm going to unmute him, or I guess maybe. I'm going to assign. Oh, he's there. All right, I'm going to bring him in that way. And then we're going to go here. And Jason Felix, welcome to Sports Bias again.
Hello, everyone.
There he is.
I'm going to adjust something now. I'm too close. There we go.
Welcome back.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Well, I didn't really have a choice. You said you had to be on the show.
Yeah, I have thoughts.
You have thoughts. All right, so you've heard some of the categories. Let's just get your thoughts on those previous categories, and I have some other questions for you.
Worst movie, I think we're fine there. Hockey movie, I'll be honest, I've never seen Goon. So
you'd hate it.
Enjoy, Jason. Enjoy.
I avoided it because it had Stifler in it.
See,
I was like, that's not going to be any good. So now I'm gonna have to go back and watch it.
Yes, sir.
What was the first category again? We got so many.
Basketball.
The one I think that's missing there is He Got Game.
Yeah.
And we talked about this earlier. At what point do you distinguish documentaries from films?
Yeah.
From movies?
Yeah, I think that's a tough one. I mean,
because Hoop Dreams is a documentary, and if you start throwing documentaries and everything, do you start looking at other things?
Yeah.
So I love Hoop Dreams. It was my favorite basketball movie, but it's tough because it's a documentary.
Yeah. I think Hoop Dreams, they have, let's see.
Came out in
6.
'94.
Yeah. They have it as number 6 overall sports movie.
Yeah, it was released in '94, based at St. Joe's High School, which I used to live right down the street from when I lived in Chicago. Was it Arthur Agee and William Gates? Yep. One ended up going to Marshall, was Agee, and then Gates stayed at St. Joe's and went to Marquette, and Agee, I don't think he really panned out after high school.
So was that be your pick for basketball?
Yeah, I think it's hands down.
Interesting.
Would be the winner.
Yeah, so we had Hoop Dreams over Hoosiers.
Yeah.
Come on.
Why would you say so, Jason? Just based on the originality at the time of following these guys?
That, and it sucks you in. You want to know how these kids do.
Yeah.
Watching Hoosiers, I honestly kind of get bored with it. Yeah. I think it's a little slow.
It is slow.
I think it's a good story, but I think it's a little slow.
It is slow. Cinematography is beautiful in it, but I get it. It's slow. Yeah, the documentary thing is interesting because there's another one on here somewhere that's a documentary. You know, there is one. What's the skateboarder one we talked about? The Dogtown and Z-Boys. Yeah. I mean, that's always cited as one of the best sports movies of all time, and that's a documentary. So I think we're going to do a documentary show. I think there's a lot of them that'll bring in the 30s and 30s, and
and then you're going to hate me on this last one.
Oh gosh.
So looking at that list, when it comes to the baseball, I don't think Major League should be on it.
Jason Felix. Whoa, Joe! Wait, hold on. I just blew Joe up. Hold on.
That was my head exploding. He just comes on, just firing, throwing daggers.
Blew Jason's take. There.
As much as I love Major League, and it's a great comedy. It's not as good as movie as Bull Durham. It's not as good as movie as Fielder's Dreams. It's not as good as movie as 8 Man Out. It's not as good as 61. I don't think as a movie it's as good as A League of Their Own, which wasn't even on. But from a comedy standpoint, it's a great movie. But from a movie standpoint, it's not as good as those other movies. It's not as good as The Natural.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, if you would have said The Sandlot, I might have given you that, but not better than 8 Men Out, not better than The Natural. Come on, I don't know. That's
8 Men Out's a great movie.
It's a great movie, but
it's better than Major League from a movie standpoint. Now, if you want to
not according to everybody else in the world that has it ranked much higher. I need the buzzer. I didn't put the sound effects on here. I need the buzzer. Can I turn my music up?
Jason, I guess. Oh, here we go.
Jason, bring the haters out.
Okay. No. This isn't a bad thing. I need to catch up, and I need to see where your head's at, because I know you're both Buckeye fans. I know that. Did you grow up in Cleveland, or are you a diehard Cleveland guy like my friend Jay here?
I grew up in Columbus.
Okay, so that explains that, Jay.
He's on the right side. He's on the northern side.
Yeah, there's no fondness in Cleveland. It doesn't make him.
So I'm a Browns fan, but I grew up. So my whole youth, I played baseball pretty much every day.
I don't like where this is going.
So hold on, I rooted for the Indians and the Cubs. Yeah. We come home at lunchtime and watch the Cubs on WGN, and then watch the Indians at night. And unfortunately, the Indians were garbage until the early 90s. So,
the Cubs weren't much better.
It didn't matter one way or the other. And where's Rookie of the Year on this list?
Not on it, as it should be.
Yes.
What's it? Henry? What's his name?
Rowan Gardner.
Rowan Gardner. Yeah, Henry Rowan Gardner. I am sure some other people will mention that. And Angels in the Outfield, a lot of people remember that. But no, it doesn't belong on that list. It doesn't belong.
Ruffenschmitzer, get in here.
Yeah, Little Big League. Where's Little Big League, Gag? If you're throwing comedies with all those great baseball movies.
That category, there are so many that could have gone on lists that you could make cases for. That's and there, as it was, there's 8, but there could have been 16 on their list. There's going to be people that have those favorites. Ed would not be one of them, however.
No.
All right, let's move on. Joe, we're going to kind of put you on the spot with a story here. But when putting this together and going through the movies, I knew there had to be 2 special categories to kind of honor these 2 people. The first one is Kevin Costner. We had to have a separate movie category for the best Kevin Costner film. And then the other one is Dennis Quaid, which we'll get to a little bit later. I found it interesting that I think Costner only had 6 sports movies. Maybe there was a 7th. And Dennis Quaid had many more. He had like 13 of them. But Kevin Costner's, they were big movies. And I know Jason is very passionate, and he's going to have some convincing arguments for Bull Durham. That's his jam. And then Joe has an interesting story about Kevin Costner. So this is the best picture featuring Kevin Costner. Draft Day with Jason Mize Brown's in there. Tin Cup, which is a great movie. Bull Durham, Field of Dreams, American Flyer, which is one of his first ones. And then For the Love of the Game, which I thought was a very underrated movie. Some people hate it, but I thought it was really good. We are going to let Felix comment first on this category. I think I know where you're going, but go ahead.
Well, you know where I'm going. I think Bull Durham is one of the best sports movies ever made. It has everything you want. It has comedy, love, drama. The quotes in that movie are awesome. An aging out veteran with the hotshot rookie. Everything you kind of get from Major League, but better.
Why does he keep calling me meat? Wait, what? You said better than Major League.
Yeah.
Come on. It's a great movie and I love it, but better than Major League, I can't go there. No, it's a classic movie. I just rewatched it the other day. It's awesome. But Jason was pretty adamant. That's what kind of triggered him being on the show. Because on our form, you said there's Bull Durham and everything. This is the hands down the winner. Nothing is even close, or something along those lines.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
I called you.
And then on the leading actresses, why isn't Susan Sarandon on the list?
Because she's not a leading actress in the movie. She'll be nominated.
She is.
She's not.
She's
not
the
a
lead actress in that movie.
No, she's not. There's a lead there. She's not considered a lead on it. She was actually, I think, nominated for Best Supporting Actress on there. She'll be nominated later in that category. So,
okay.
All right. I think one of those 2. All right. Yeah. Bull Durham. What do you got? So everybody, especially the people, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. It may be not all our favorites, but I think Field of Dreams is probably one of the sports movie that the most people know of. Like the non-sports fans and people that don't follow sports. That's the one that people generally know when you think of sports movies. They'll cite that one. So it might be the most widely popular one. And everybody knows about Kevin Costner's baseball movies and Bull Durham and Field of Dreams and so forth. And Joe has an interesting story. Joe loved Field of Dreams. It was his favorite movie growing up. Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah. So I've seen Field of Dreams at least 20 times, right? So as I lost my dad, unfortunately, about 11 years ago. But even before I lost my dad, the scene when he sees his dad comes out, they play catch, just melted me, and it would lure me in every single time. And like my family would know not to come in the living room when that was happening. I mean, it really was moving, and I loved the movie. So I happened to see this guy on a TMZ video about maybe 4 or 5 years ago.
Costner.
And they asked him about, Kevin Costner. They asked him about Field of Dreams. And he said, as I'm now at that point, I'm probably a mid-40s guy. And he said, people come up, these 40-year-old guys, and say, man, that movie was so powerful. Please stop coming up to me. You're 40 years old. And oh my gosh, for him to say that just blew me away. It blew my image. Oh gosh. So he dropped a lot, Jay. He dropped.
Ruined it for you.
Oh, God.
If you build it, he will come.
Yeah, go the distance. Yeah.
Go the distance.
Unless you're 40, and then stop going the distance because it's not important anymore.
You know, you don't know what kind of day he was having, Joe. He could have been having a really bad day and just kind of took it out on the reporter or whoever was asking the questions.
Sure, because TMZ is not viewed much, Jay. So yeah, that's a good forum.
He could have been his 100th interview of the day, and he's just fed up. And give him a break. Don't let him ruin the show and the memory with your dad. That's a great, powerful thing.
Yeah, it was. Man. Go ahead, Felix.
I know you'll get to it later about best scenes in sports movies, and when he starts playing catch with his dad is the best scene in a sports movie.
It would probably be mine as well. I'm glad you brought that up, Felix, because we're actually not going to get to a couple of the categories tonight, and that's one of them. We'll probably do a separate video later. There's a couple of categories we just won't get to tonight. Best scene in a sports movie. I'm having a hard time tracking down all the clips. That's one of the reasons. And best quotes. We've already mentioned several of them already. I think 5 or 6 of the quotes have already come up. You're killing me, Smalls, which I think is probably the one that will win. But there's lots of them. But those categories will be coming. Just so you know, we're not going to get to it tonight. But all right, yeah. So Bull Durham for this one. Joe, what would be your pick on this one?
Oh man, I'm begrudgingly.
You got it. You have to say.
I would still probably go Field of Dreams, Jay. I don't want to.
There it is. All right. This category is really tough, but we actually had suggested probably 15 movies on this next list, and I think the people I sent it to and finalized this, I think they got it right because I think there's a division. There's only 4 nominated for the next category. Because there's a lot, but there's those 4, and I think they're right. For me, there's those 4, and then there's a drop between everything else. But this is the best picture comedy. So Slapshot, The Bad News Bears, Caddyshack, and Major League. That is a killer lineup right there. Felix, what do you think?
Caddyshack. Not even close.
Come on, not even close. Oh. See why I had him on the show? I guess it's good entertainment because this is ridiculous. All right.
Are you thinking Major League is number 1?
I am absolutely saying Major League's number 1, but I think they're all really close. I think all 4 of those are really, really close. But hands down, Caddyshack being number 1, it's not even close. Were his words? Not even close. Joe, tell Felix.
Well, Jay, I think you're going to be disappointed because if I'm looking to the right of Major League and above Major League, you have 2 winners there. I think it would beat out the Bad News Bears. I'm not sure why that's on there exactly. A lot of other funny movies. Bull Durham didn't get any love here, Felix. I'm not sure why the Bad News Bears. It's good. It's a solid third, Jay.
Major League's a solid third?
On this list, yes.
I hate you both.
I'd go Caddyshack as well. Caddyshack.
I would put it 2 over Slapshot because I just haven't watched it enough.
Yeah.
I
think all 4 of these are great. I love Bad News Bears and Tanner. That was actually one of my suggestions, but go back and watch it and watch Walter Matthau. It's
got my curveball breaking 6 feet, moneymaker.
Yeah. All right. Another tough category coming up. We got to kind of move on through some of these, but this will be a tough category. This next one, we're going to let Joe take this one. This is the best picture in the football subcategory.
All right. Fantastic. Rudy kicking it off. You're 5'0", 100 and nothing. Little Giants. There you go, Felix.
I put that on the list, and I'm surprised it made it here.
Very nice. Very nice. School Ties. Jay, I would not expect this to make it. I know we got an inside conversation the other day, but I also liked it as well.
It's a powerful movie.
Brian's song, Remember the Titans and Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I've forgotten how great Friday Night Lights. Like I always think of the TV show and all that stuff, but the movie was really fantastic. Remember the Titans is one of those movies. If it comes on, I'm watching it every single time. My least favorite on this one by far is Rudy. The story's flawed. Most of that stuff didn't happen. It's just so dramatized that it's a good story and it is a decent movie, but I wouldn't have put it on there. Wow. I actually played volleyball with Rudy's niece, Christine Rudiger. She told me some fun stories about that. But yeah, no, they didn't turn their jerseys in and all threaten to quit. That never happened. Little Giants is cute.
Little Giants is cute.
Little Giants is cute. All right. Next category. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best picture in the football subcategory. This is the best p And is there a man alive that has watched Brian's song and hasn't cried? Felix?
So interesting story about Rudy to take on your playing volleyball with his niece. I used to work with one of his nieces.
Was
who
it
said
Christine?
I can't remember her name. She was younger than I was.
Yeah.
Who said Rudy was an asshole.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I never really liked the movie. I'm also biased, so it was never going to win my heart.
Both of
anyway.
us hate Notre Dame, so.
Wow. Wow,
So-
boys. Man.
Between this, I think Remember the Titans is the better movie of the bunch.
Yeah.
And more heartfelt. When they go in, when they run through the cemetery at Gettysburg,
Yeah.
it gets you every time. But Friday Night Lights would be my number 2.
Not Brian's song. No. That was a little bit earlier than for you too. A little bit younger than Joe and I, but yeah. Remember the Titans, I would lean towards Brian's song or Remember the Titans, and probably Remember the Titans. But yeah, and School Ties was powerful. It was a good movie. Yeah,
But
it's a
don't
tough
sleep
category.
on Ice. Don't sleep on Icebox and the annexation of Puerto Rico and the Little Giants.
I thought Little Giants was great. I thought it was really cute. It was good. It's a fun watch. It's a fun watch.
It's
yeah.
It's the equivalent of Sandlot
Sandlot.
for
Right.
football.
Right. All right, we are going to go on to, just so you know, we have people watching. Annetta is going to be joining the show soon. We have 2 more categories, and she's going to come on, and I don't know what she's going to say. I'm just going to leave it like that. Felix, you'll have to lay into her if she speaks some nonsense.
I'm not going to lay in Annetta. I'm going to stay
She's
away
already
from
laughing. She's already laughing. I have no idea what she's going to say. All right, so we're going to go on to Best Supporting Actor. And now you'll see Susan Sarandon as Best Supporting Actress. So we have Susan Sarandon in Bull Durham, John Malkovich in Secretariat, Tom Hanks. There's no crying in baseball. That's not that scene. This is when she missed the cutoff man. Will Patton in Remember the Titans. He was fantastic. One of the best scenes when he called timeout in the championship game, in the regional championship game. James Earl Jones in A Field of Dreams. He was so great in that. It was just great. And other than Star Wars and maybe Roots, I mean, that's probably, I think people think of him for this role more than anything else. It could be wrong. And Thomas Jane in
Maybe
61.
Arby's, Jay.
Arby's. He's not,
Yes.
he's not the voice of the Arby's.
Who
Vin Rames
is?
is. We
Who is
got
it?
the meats. It's
Oh,
Vin
yeah,
Rames.
yeah.
That's Vin
Oh my
Rames.
God.
He's also the
That was-
voice of Mufasa.
Yes,
So-
he is the voice of Mufasa.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
I was wondering why he was doing Arby's commercials. So thank you. Thank you for correcting me.
Yeah, Ving Rhames went from winning an Academy Award to doing Arby's commercials. But anyway.
Okay.
And Thomas Jane for 61. 61 was one of those movies I thought was just really fantastic. An HBO movie, one of the early HBO movies. It was great. It was great. And he was great in his Mickey Mantle. But for me, I think Will Patton would be second. But for me, hands down, Susan Sarandon wins this award. Don't you both jump in at the same time? Go ahead. Felix.
Go ahead, Felix.
See, this one's tough. This one's really tough. As much as I love Susan Sarandon in Bull Durham, Tom Hanks is freaking brilliant.
He is brilliant in it. Yeah.
Everything he does in that movie is absolutely brilliant. I would probably lean towards Tom Hanks. Just for the simple fact he takes a 3-minute pee.
He does take it's like an ogre pee from Revenge of the Nerds too. Yes. Yeah. You know. Are you crying?
And
Are you crying?
Yeah.
There's no
Was
crying
the-
in baseball.
the kid gets the signed card that says Jimmy Dugan, avoid the clap.
Yeah, I know that. I love that. I love when he throws the mitt at the little kid. He's like, got him. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was great. He was great. He'd be third on this list. Him and Will Patton would be really, really close. But I'd give it to Sarandon again. Joe, what do you think?
Yeah, it's tough here. I think you go Hanks. I love Sarandon as well. Man, I like James Earl Jones as a sleeper guy in this character. I think he was so good. And again,
was
I'm
good.
I'm going back and giving love to that movie. So I like James Earl Jones.
Yeah. I just watched it not too long ago, and I forgot how great he was in it. Yeah. It's a tough category. All right, let's move on to golf. One of the more competitive ones. Again, they're all tough with the golf. You know, there's a lot of great golf movies. There's one on here that I was real surprised at, which I actually loved. I didn't nominate it or suggest it, but Caddyshack. And again, there's Caddyshack and everything else. I think we're all probably going to say that. Did either of you guys see 7 Days in Utopia?
I have not.
Watch it. It's good. It's actually, I think it's by far the lowest ranked one as far as IMDb. It's like 505th sports movie. So it's not even close to the other ones. But I thought it was really good. I didn't suggest it. This is one of the ones that other committee actually threw on the list. I didn't ask him why, but I let him do it. So The Greatest Game Ever Played, Shia LaBeouf, The Legend of Bagger Vance, a lot of great quotes in that one. Tin Cup, another Kevin Costner, and Happy Gilmore. What do you think, Joe?
Caddyshack. I'd like to make arguments for the other ones, but there's no sense. I'm entertained by the other ones, but that is the king.
Being the golfer, are there other ones on here that you wanted to see on this list? Annette has like 3 sheets of paper over here. I don't know what she's doing. All right. Other movies, Joe, you wanted to see on this list?
Not that I can think of right now. Good movies. I mean, all a little bit different, and that's what golf will do to you. Make you go through every emotion, from laughing, crying, serious. Yeah, so that's a good
all
list.
in one morning.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
By the 4th hole.
What do you think, Felix?
The one I think would be missing here, and I'd probably take off The Greatest Game Ever Played, is there's a movie with Jim Caviezel called Bobby Jones, A Stroke of Genius.
Yeah.
Which is more about Bobby Jones,
Yep.
his time as a golfer and his life, it's really good.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'd forgotten about that one, but I've seen that, and it's really great. Bobby Jones was the man. He was the man before there was a man.
I think the last scene in that movie is him looking over the field that turns into Augusta.
Yeah, that's a good one. I hadn't thought of that one. But I think we all probably agree that Caddyshack wins this hands down, I would guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I need to slide over. I need to bring my wife on. I'm a little nervous for her. I'm a little nervous for me because I'm probably going to get hate from people because I may tease her too much on TV, and people will be like, "Oh, you got to be nicer to your wife."
We're going to agree with her, not you. So,
okay.
For sure.
Well, she can hit me. She's going to be right next to me. All right, come sit down, honey. All right, welcome to the Sports Bias with Cleveland J. My wife, Annetta. I got to get her some headphones here.
Hello,
all right,
everyone.
So part of what we were doing and
again
watching us do this. Why don't you slide a little bit? Come closer, honey. She kept on throwing her 2 cents in on stuff that wasn't sports movies, and she was adamant, and it was funny. We were just laughing, like, Ferris Bueller isn't a sports movie. And there's some other ones that we've even talked about that are, maybe it's not about sports, but sports is the major focus on the movie. Maybe it's not about sports, but so she has a list of movies that she wants to share with you that she thinks should have been considered for an award. Correct?
Yes. First, can you turn the music down? There's music in the background.
I know.
Oh, you're playing it? Okay.
Yeah.
I just didn't know. All right. Hi, guys.
Takes out some of this.
Hello.
All right. So, yes. I am here representing those who sometimes give a crap about sports and sometimes don't, right? But because, for one reason or another, we are pulled into the sports arena, right? I was not an avid sports fan of any kind until I met you. And then actually one of our first dates was watching The Butler championship game.
I was there.
Yeah, Felix you were there. That's right. Felix is down in the roots with us. Yep. So you kind of got me into sports. Now, I stand firm in my pick.
I'm afraid.
At Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
You left that on there? I said you couldn't.
Did. I don't care. Then that's my number 6. So number 6, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Let me tell you why. Growing up in Chicago, what is one of the fondest memories I have? Being out with my friends, playing from morning till dusk, being outside and hearing the WGN radio show. Anywhere we went, parents, dad's out there mowing the lawn or doing other yard work, working on the car, and what's on but the Cubs game, right? You got to give me
sure.
Yeah.
Going to any Chicago little diner dive. Uncle Charlie's on the corner. The door's wide open. It's a beautiful spring day. What's on in the background? The Cubs game, right?
The Bears.
The same thing. The attitude, the Chicago attitude. When Rooney walks in and is like, what's the score? And the guy's like, nothing. And he's like, who's winning? The Bears. It's like that snarky Chicago attitude. I love it. Total.
Not a bad justification, honey.
There's more.
Oh.
There's more. Number 5, whatever. The gym scene when they're at the game. Number 1, that's the first time I've ever heard swing batter. Yeah, that's the first time I ever heard that. And then since then I've heard it a gazillion times, and now I understand it. Also, them laughing at not being in gym class. I loathed high school gym class, and I think a lot of people can relate to that. So that's my justification for Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
That's your weakest part of that argument, but okay. All right, so we should
I
have
love it.
considered Ferris Bueller. If you are watching and give a thumbs up, or you're watching the replay, make sure you comment and see what you think about Ferris Bueller. All right, what else you got?
I have the movie 8 Below with Paul Walker and Huskies. So I don't know if you are familiar with it. It's a team a sled dog team in Antarctica.
True story.
Based on true story. They had to leave behind their sled dogs because of the.
Don't ruin the movie.
Oh, I'm not going to ruin the movie. I'm just kidding. Watch 8 Below with Paul Walker and Huskies.
So-
There's something for everyone.
Why sports, though? Why do you think it's a sports category? I agree. So I agree. If you haven't watched that movie, it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Cry every time. I think it's really, really great. But why do you think it's a sports movie? Because the dogs are athletic?
Sled dogs, and it's a survivalist film. You kind of have like that Rocky type of.
That's that slippery slope
Triumph.
you're talking about, Felix.
So, Annetta, my question would be, was there an actual game or sporting event that occurred during the movie?
I was not notified what the rules are for these picks. I was told I could pick some.
Man, those dogs are athletic.
Because, like you said, it's a slippery slope, because then you can throw in Alive. With
I
the
thought of
Argentinian-
Alive as well. Yes. yes. That's up there as well. But, between eating people or
Okay.
dogs, I'd pick the Huskies.
Did they even
So
show
see
them
below.
playing soccer in Alive? I don't even remember.
No, it's the plane crash and them
Yeah.
eating people.
Yeah.
Okay, so Alive, which also
We
actually
told Cubby
won
that
awards.
the other day.
Annetta, I have a secondary question for you, and I hope
Give it to
not.
her,
I
Joe.
hope not. But that is not the one that has Cuba Gooding Jr. in it.
No.
Is it?
No, that's Sled Dog.
What is that?
No, that
Okay.
is Snow Dogs,
Snow Dogs.
and my kids wanted to
Oh.
watch it today.
Oh,
Okay, all
It's
right.
with Paul
Jason,
Walker.
thank you. All right, Paul Walker.
Paul Walker, and going back to American Pie and Stifler, who's Jason Biggs, right?
Jason Biggs is in that.
He's
too.
in
Yeah.
it as well. And so 8
Yes.
Below.
Okay,
Yeah,
got it.
Eight Below is a great movie.
right.
And those dogs are athletic, but it's not a sports movie.
These
Okay.
next two, I don't even want to hear it before I name them. I don't want to hear it.
Too bad.
Adventures in Babysitting, the new one. With the Swift
She
Chip-Chop.
watches this movie with the kids probably 4 times a week. It's their favorite movie. I can't.
Roller Derby, right? Roller Derby is featured in it. The little girl is obsessed with it. And it's one of those things that, girls don't get a lot of opportunities to be featured in major motion pictures in sports. So the Swift Chip Chop.
Did you see our category for best female leads? How strong that was?
Yes. And I'm sticking with Adventures in Babysitting, the new one. Actually, both are very good. In the first one, Sarah, I forgot her name.
You guys, somebody say something, because
Annetta, so I have one question. As Elizabeth Shue, massive fan growing up, she is not in this. Elizabeth Shue is not in
Not
it.
in the second one, but
This movie's out. This movie's out.
Yeah.
Throw that movie out.
you
Let's
have to
move
watch
on.
the first to compare the two, because the second the second movie actually really pays homage I can't speak, homage to the first film with Elizabeth Shue. So it's just as good as the first, if not
Like she
better.
does a cameo. She does a cameo or something.
no, Joe, she doesn't.
Okay.
But
Okay.
that
Again,
that leads
this
me
is
to my,
out.
that leads me to my next.
I want to say something about this one.
Okay.
So I will say, not a sports movie, and it's a ridiculous take, but it actually is good. I love Elizabeth Shue. The first one's fun. The second one is equally as good. Sophia Carson and
Sabrina Carpenter.
Sabrina Carpenter. It's actually really good. Very similar to the first one. Equally as good. I was surprised. But again, sports movie.
Homeschool families, you can have your children do a write-up on the comparison between the two. So, next, speaking of Elizabeth Shue, I am going to put Cobra Kai in the mix, even though it's
a movie.
You know what? However, it is basically a 35, almost 40-year movie to me because they so beautifully have taken this movie from the 80s,
A movie that sucked in the 80s.
resurrected it, and it seems like it has been a 40-year-long movie. To me, I love it. Elizabeth Shue is featured in it. I don't know, Joe, have you seen it? Are you a fan of Cobra Kai?
I do watch Cobra Kai. Mind your business, Jay. Whatever. You didn't like it in the 80s, that's your
Ultimate
business. I don't know.
Sports Movie Award. Okay.
Yes. It's not a movie. Annetta, you're going to have to change your argument here to get this in. A 40-year movie,
It
you're
is a
calling
40-year
it.
So you're gonna put
That
Karate
is.
Kid in then? Is that
Sure.
just
Then put Karate Kid in and then
I'll
watch
give you that
the
one.
continuation of it.
Okay.
Also, I mean, I'm not one for following the rules. Today is a holiday that I made up, Xiao Day, where my girlfriends and I, for 26 years plus, have been celebrating February 6th as Xiao Day. So, on your rules. Next, there's more, 2 more. Actually, kind of 3. I'll make this fast. Speaking of Tom Hanks, I am putting in Forrest Gump as a sports movie because of the running, the ping pong, the football. I think it's a
Other
stronger
people
case.
have made that argument.
Okay.
I can see that argument being made.
Okay.
I
All right,
made it
awesome.
the other night, Annetta.
Did you
It
really?
wasn't a huge argument, but I brought up the running. Yes.
Awesome.
So, good.
Awesome.
Good.
Run,
I'm on board.
Forrest, run.
So watch.
I mean, he
Forrest
played
Gump.
football out of. He was an All-American in Alabama. He was a world-renowned ping pong player.
Yep.
It's one of those movies too that when it's on TV, you have to watch it. You have to leave it on, regardless of what point you.
For sure.
Yeah, I think it's one of those movies it became such a cliche type movie that people forget how really good it is because it is a really great. Obviously, it won awards.
Great
but
movie.
I think it's kind of got beat down over time, and it's a great movie.
If
give
you
you that
have Netflix, there's a very interesting series called The Movies. What's it called? The Movies We Love. Or
Made
something
Us?
like. Yeah, and they have one of Forrest. They have a little hour documentary about Forrest Gump about how difficult it was to get made, and
On
it's
Netflix?
really good.
Netflix, you said?
Yeah,
Cool.
All right.
The Movies That Made Us.
Okay.
Oh,
Is the name
nice.
of the
Yeah, I've heard
series.
of that series. Yep. Okay. And actually, I'm no longer quite the Tom Hanks fan. I don't even know what movies he's recently come out with, but
We're not
look
going
at
there.
look at the Ricky Gervais Golden Globes 2020 speech. Hilarious. Next, the positively true adventures of the alleged Texas cheerleader murdering mom, starring Holly Hunter and Beau Bridges. Do you recall this movie?
No one recalls
think
this
you made
movie,
it up.
Annetta.
No, it is amazing. So it is. It was from the Lifetime, which I'm a huge fan of Hallmark movies and Lifetime movies, and so this is based on a true story in like
remember the
1993,
story.
where the mom in Texas
Yeah.
asks her brother-in-law to put a hit out on this girl or the girl's family or
She was
something
competing against her daughter.
because she was competing against her daughter in cheerleading.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember the story.
And
I
actually,
remember
they
the
won.
real story.
I remember the story.
Holly Hunter and Beau Bridges both won Emmys and Golden Globes for their performances.
I think you made that part up.
No, I'm serious.
I'm gonna look that up. I don't think you. I think you made.
It was amazing, and it was during those times where it was like, because it was on No, it wasn't Lifetime. I'm sorry, it was HBO, and it was during those times where, again, in the 80s or 90s, where HBO would play the same movie 4 or 5 times
Yeah.
in the same day, and so my brother and I just remember constantly for like a 2-week period watching that.
I
over
remember
and
the
over and
story,
over.
but I don't remember the movie.
Okay, so I mean that was it. I mean, so the Lifetime movie that I confused it with was they did Life Stories, Families in Crisis, and they had Callista Flockhart playing Mary Margaret, who was a bulimic, and I remember that totally shifted my.
We are so far off sports right now.
You need to rein. You need
So
to rein
she-
this back in.
So she exercised herself. Her friend exercised herself to death. Okay, so those are my picks.
All right. So you know,
Annetta, before you leave, Annetta, I will just say that kind of piggybacks with Jay's discussion about Bring It On that he mentioned the other day. So
What?
you are not far off base. He brought it up.
well, bring it on is a sports movie, right?
Okay.
It's a
The same
It's
thing.
cheerleading.
Same thing.
And Stick It, the gymnastics movie.
So I appreciate. The
I'll give you a
opportunity.
thumbs up for Stick It.
I appreciate
So,
the
one-
opportunity for coming on, and for again those of us who maybe love sports, where the what are they called? Jump on the bandwagon when the team's winning,
Now she's
the city
using
team.
sports cliches.
Yeah.
You know what? Doesn't matter. It brings people closer together. I'm a
And
cheerleader.
that based on your theories and your reasoning, you're missing a big one.
What's that?
Dirty Dancing. It's dance related.
Ooh, yes, that's a great one.
This is the way
Felix.
you're going to look at things. Dirty Dancing.
Yeah, it opens the door.
I think I need to host my own episode on your show one day, like all of these, and
You're
go
more than
discuss
welcome to.
them. All right. Well,
All
thanks, guys. It was fun
Thanks,
coming
honey.
on. All right. See you
Thanks,
later.
Bye, Nana.
All right, we will definitely
Bye,
be chopping that one up and posting it. Thanks for humoring us and that, because it was cracking us up all week. So sorry. All right, we're gonna move on so we can get to the rest of this and get out of here relatively quickly. It's time for the Dennis Quaid category: best movie featuring Dennis Quaid. The Express, The Rookie, Soul Surfer, Breaking Away, and Any Given Sunday. Your thoughts, Jason Felix?
Breaking Away. I think Rookie would be 2.
I'm assuming you saw The Express.
I love The Express.
Yeah.
But you're saying featuring Dennis Quaid. It has him in it, but I don't think the features
Yeah.
is
Yeah, I get
is the
that.
running back. I'm drawing a blank.
Ernie
It's
Davis.
Ernie Davis. I was thinking Little there for a second.
Yeah.
Any Given Sunday, he's a bit piece.
Yeah, yeah,
He's the old quarterback that's trying to making way for Willie Beeman, but Breaking Away, it's just an awesome story.
yep. It's a good one. It's a good one. And same thing with Soul Surfer. He was the dad. He was Bethany Hamilton's dad in the movie. So, yeah, I don't know what you think, Joe, but I think Breaking Away. I like The Rookie. I love The Rookie, especially because he was our age too. It's like maybe a little bit younger, but and being a Browns fan, particularly Ernie Davis' story was great. The Express was great, but I have to give it a Breaking Away. Didn't Breaking Away win for Best Picture?
Yeah, it was really good. It got a lot of awards way back. I mean, is it 70s? Does it go back that far? 80s?
I think it's
I remember watching it in the early 80s as a kid.
I think it's the early 80s. Just gonna see
Okay.
if there's Dennis Quaid here.
79.
79.
Yeah.
Looked it up. All right.
79.
Yeah, definitely worth the watch. Again, I hope you guys out there will watch some of these movies or watch the trailers and see if you're interested, and then find them on Netflix and other things and rewatch some of these. But yeah,
I don't
Breaking
even
Away,
mean
they
to
had number
downplay
21.
this.
Say it again,
Yeah,
Joe.
I don't even mean to downplay this category. This seems like sort of a plan B compared to the Costner movies that we were looking at, right? Doesn't it?
Well, that's interesting because we're going to get to the Lifetime Achievement Awards, and I'm going to say that Dennis Quaid should definitely win that award. I don't think there should be anybody else considered for it. He's done the most sports movies. It's more a part of his DNA than anybody else. Costner had bigger movies, but
Yeah.
Dennis Quaid should win that Academy Award, win this award for that category.
Fair
We'll
enough.
get there.
Fair enough.
Anything else you want to say, Felix?
No, not in this category.
All right. So the next
I'm
category,
doing some efforting in the background.
you what?
I'm doing some efforting
All right.
in the background.
All right. I haven't heard that word in a long time. Efforting. That was a hot word for 2 minutes about 10 years ago. All right, next one. This is, I think, maybe the toughest category of any, because as Annetta talked about, as we've talked about throughout the night, there's a whole bunch of these that don't fit into one of the categories that we're using. And so the best picture in the other subcategory is really, really tough. Breaking Away's in here. Cool Runnings, the Jamaican bobsled team. We will talk about The Cutting Edge, Kingpin, Invictus, Soul Surfer again, Bend It Like Beckham, and Secretariat. And there, Karate Kid could have been here. There could have been another 10 movies in this. Are there anything other than these that you guys would have liked seeing in this category or consider? Joe?
That is not on this list. Boy, Jay.
Okay, no. Jason?
Victory.
Victory? Yeah.
Stallone, World War II based soccer movie where they break out.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't
Actually, I
remember
think
what
that-
our list was because I think we had a whole bunch of other ones on here.
I don't even think Victory made our list. I just thought about it
yeah.
like an hour ago.
Let's see here. Oh yeah,
Seabiscuit.
Seabiscuit. Yeah, that was one on here. You had a couple other ones, or Joe did. Vision Quest,
Oh yeah.
Foxcatcher.
the Foxcatcher, the Karate
is
Kid.
Phenomenal.
I had posted something. What was Foxcatcher? I don't remember that one.
That was just probably in the last 10 years. It's based in, happened in 96. John DuPont, David Schultz, U.S. wrestlers wrestling. And actually, John DuPont shot David Schultz on the Foxcatcher Farms. I remember that whole story because during that time I was actually wrestling in high school, and it was a big deal.
Yeah. That triggers that for me.
Steve Carell, Jay. Great movie. He does a fantastic job. But Channing
Oh,
Tatum.
now I remember seeing the. Okay, I got it.
Channing
It's a good
Tatum,
movie.
Mark Ruffalo. It's really
Yep.
good.
I like him. I like
And
Mark Ruffalo.
also the movie I know I had on the list. I don't see it here, but Win Win with Paul Giamatti, and he like sort of adopts a son, kind of, if you will. Really, really good movie.
Is it arm
if you get a
wrestling?
chance- No, wrestling. Not arm wrestling.
All right.
Win
Over
Win
the
Win.
top. Over the top was arm wrestling, wasn't it? With Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Different.
Yeah.
Where's Kicking and Screaming?
I don't remember that one. What's that one?
Will Ferrell, Mike Ditka coaching a soccer team with the Italians.
I don't remember that at all.
You've never seen this one?
No. Joe, do you know that one?
Oh, for sure, man. My kids
Oh, it's
grew up in
great.
this time frame. Yeah.
I'll
Great
put
movie.
I'll put that on my list. I don't even remember. Doesn't even ring a bell.
Oh, yeah, it has Robert Duvall in it. Oh, it's awesome.
It's a pretty good.
Where's
cast.
my coffee? Where's my coffee, Felix? Give me my coffee.
All right, I'm gonna have to watch that one.
He follows Ditka around. He got the Ditka sweater on. He goes, seriously?
I don't remember that at all. Wow.
Where's
Yeah,
my juice
Dick
box?
Neighbors.
Juice box?
Yeah.
All right, if you guys are
the
anybody
guy-
watching or watching the replay, put in the comments what you guys think about that movie. What's that called?
Kicking and Screaming.
Kicking and Screaming.
Your
All right.
kids would love it, Jay. Kids would love it.
I'm gonna watch it first, Joe, because I don't trust you.
No, come on.
No, it's a kid's movie.
Okay, all right.
It's
Yeah.
youth soccer. Yeah.
Speaking of kids movie, Cubby posted something. If you saw that earlier in the week, my son Cubby posted something. He wanted to put his 2 cents in this category, and I have to agree. And actually, IMDb also has it on their list of best sports movies. Surfs Up. It's a cartoon movie. Shia LaBeouf, I believe, is the voice of the penguin. They're all penguins. They're penguin surfers. It's a surf movie, totally all surfing. And if your kids haven't seen it, Felix, I would definitely recommend. You have little ones. Joe's are a little bit older, but if you haven't seen Surfs Up, that's a good one.
So something also I don't think we listed. I don't think any of us ever did was racing movies. You know,
Yeah.
Rush, Senna,
Senna. Yeah. Good.
Days of Thunder.
Yeah.
Talladega Nights.
Talladega
Could be on
Nights.
there in
Yeah.
some
I think
category.
we missed that whole
Yeah.
category
Yeah.
altogether.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably because I'm not a racing fan, so I probably didn't bring a lot of attention to it. I know probably Kevin Trigg is listening, so sorry, dude. He's a huge NASCAR.
Some of the if we could redo it, some of these movies could probably come off for some of those racing movies. Rush is exceptional.
Yeah, Rush was good. I did see that. That was good. I did not see Talladega Nights. Again, anything with racing and I just like
What was the
Turn
one
left.
with Stallone Driven back in the late 90s?
I remember it. Yeah, remember it. We didn't mention hot dogs in this category. Sorry, I had to bring that up. You don't remember Hot Dogs, the skiing movie? Shannon Tweed? No? All right. We'll go on. All right. Let's move on. Or Blue Crush. Blue Crush could have been in here as well. We're going downhill here.
Fast.
So this is where I said we're going to embarrass ourselves. I thought Cutting Edge was a great movie. Joe agrees with me. We
I
as
do.
men, we kind of get teased for liking that, but
Toe pick.
Thank you. And that was from Felix. I thought it was a great movie. Felix, you want to make fun of us for that, or you like it too?
No, I like it. I said toe pick, didn't I?
Yeah, you did. You did. All right. Anybody? You guys want to pick a winner in this category? Joe, what do you think?
Invictus is a great movie, man. Different Cool Runnings was great as well. Bend it like Beckham. No, I
You
can't
don't want
pick a
to
winner. I'll say the Cutting Edge because I don't know, Jay. We've seen it an uncomfortable amount of times each,
Yes.
so I like that movie.
All right. Felix, what do you think?
I like Breaking Away, and then I also love Secretariat. At the end of that movie, when
Secretariat
that
was
horse breaks
nominated.
away
So go ahead.
Sham, when in the last race at Belmont, when he breaks away from Sham,
Yeah.
I still get goosebumps.
Yeah.
Even though I know what's happening,
Yeah.
you still get goosebumps.
Yeah, that movie did really well at the box office, and all kinds of nominations for it, and some wins, but it didn't rank well with the IMDb fans at all. It was kind of way down there for a movie that was that well received and that many nominations. But this is a tough category. I loved Bend It Like Beckham. IMDb has that pretty high too. I like that one. I liked Invictus. I think I'd take Kingpin. I thought it was so funny. I just thought it was a really clever movie. So I think I'd pick that one. All right, let's move on. Couple categories left, and then we'll move on here. All right, so drama, best picture drama, another tough one. Joe, you want to read these off?
Yeah. Just quickly, 61, Brian's song, Miracle, Remember the Titans, and Rocky makes its initial debut here.
So Rocky is the number one sports movie of all time, according to IMDb, and a lot of lists. It's the first time it's come up tonight. Felix, what do you think? We've talked about a lot of these movies already, but what do you think about this category?
I mean, you have to go with the one that actually won an Oscar. So you got to go Rocky. I would go Rocky and then Remember the Titans.
I really wish Brad could have come on the show. So I have a friend. Joe knows him as well. Brad Ballantyne, you might have seen him on the Detroit Tiger episode. Which he did great on the Tiger episode. It was great. He would have made a fool out of himself on this one. So, sorry, Brad. I love you. His take is that regular Rocky is way too slow.
Oh, boy.
He thinks Rocky 4 is by far superior to Rocky.
Okay. I'm going to defend him a little bit. I think Rocky 4 is a more entertaining movie, but Rocky is the better movie.
All right, there you have it, Brad. You got somebody stick up for you. Somebody's seeing it from your perspective.
Congrats, Brad. Congrats.
Let's not get carried away. It's still nowhere close to Rocky. Rocky.
No. It's as a film, no, it's nowhere close.
Yeah. I can see it being faster. It's Rocky is a little slow, but
yeah,
it's more entertaining. Like it's Apollo dies. You have James Brown. You got Rocky working out in the snow. You got Ivan Drago.
I must
but
break
it's
you.
It's not the first Rocky.
Yeah.
If he dies, he dies.
If he dies, he dies. I don't know who I'd pick on this one. I don't know if I'd pick Rocky on this one.
I still want to file a protest here, Jay, because my $1 Million Baby, which I think is the best drama, it's probably one of the best movies, and in fact, it won a best movie or close, is not on here. What a fantastic movie! And I don't know what happened. It was hands down the easy go-to.
Well, let's just go to the next screen, Joe. Let's just do it this way.
Okay.
Best picture for the boxing subcategory.
Well, thank you. See, you're right.
I agree that it should have been. It should have been on the other list as well. Felix, you can look it up. Did it actually win Best Picture? I don't remember. I know Hilary Swank won for.
You should veto it because it got. If I'm reading this right, it got Best Actress, Best Picture, Best Director, Best Supporting Actor, Best Actor.
Yeah,
I knew Hilary Swank won.
And it only made the best boxing subcategory. Woo, that is tough.
Yeah,
in fact, I can make the argument. Yeah, I can make an argument for like 3 or 4 of these being on the best drama category.
Yeah.
But fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, $1 Million Baby is great. My choice here.
Felix, what do you think? It's a tough category.
It's really tough.
Rocky and Raging Bull are number 1 and 2 on IMDb's list of sports movies.
I haven't seen Raging Bull enough, and I haven't seen it in a long time.
Yeah.
Whereas I watch Rocky I'll go through the whole series from 1 to Creed
19.
2 in a row. But $1 Million Baby is really, really good, but
It is.
really freaking sad.
Yeah.
That's gonna be hard to beat Rocky, because Rocky.
Thanks for
when people
giving
vote Rocky,
thanks for giving it away, Felix. When I'm trying to encourage people to check this movie out, and you're telling
I just
how
said it's
happy.
really sad.
Hmm.
But I think when people vote Rocky, they're not voting for Rocky 1; they're voting for the whole
Whole
series.
series, yeah.
And that's going to skew people. That's going to skew people's vote.
Yeah, and I think for me, there's Rocky 1. You can throw all the rest of them out, for as I'm concerned.
Oh no, 3 is awesome.
Is that the one with
Mr.
Clubber
T.
Lang? Yeah,
Yeah, because him and Apollo finally get together and start working together as a team.
that is the lowest ranked of the Rocky movies.
Oh, I love Rocky 3.
I love the Hurricane too. I love this one. Again, there's
That-
not a
that-
ton of
that was a
boxing
really
in that
good
one,
movie.
but it's a great movie. It's a tough one.
Yep.
I have not seen The
Agreed.
Fighter. I have not seen The Fighter, and I heard it was really
That's
good.
good movie too. Yeah, it'll tug at your heart there a bit.
Yeah. Did we have Hilary Swank as a nominee for Best Actress?
Well, let's
No,
find
we
out,
didn't.
Jay.
Well, didn't we already do it? Go back.
That
here.
was supporting, wasn't it?
No, that
No,
was
it's
Best
lead
Female
role.
Lead
That needs-
role. I'm going to protest.
Can we protest Amy
Yes.
Adams and put in Hillary Swank?
Yes,
Please.
I am going to make
Please.
sure. I'm going to make sure Hillary Swank gets. It's my show. I can do what I want. I gave the committee free reign to do this, but that Hillary Swank has to be on this. She has to be on it. She's the only one that actually won an award for this role. So
Yeah, because our whole list would be invalid if we don't have her there.
yeah, she has to be on there. We will fix that. I will fix that when we get off the air here. All right, let's move on to Best Male Actor. Best Male Actor in a lead role: Walter Matthau in The Bad News Bears, Josh Lucas. I'm sure there's ones we're going to be missing here too. Josh Lucas in Glory Road, Barry Pepper in 61, James Caan in Brian Song, and Gene Hackman in Hoosiers. That's a tough category.
I'm jumping in. I'm jumping in with James Caan, man. Brian Piccolo, come on,
Yeah.
come on, man. It's fantastic job. So emotional. True story. Whew, tough one, James.
I would have to agree, but there's some I love Matthau, but he doesn't deserve to be here. Where's Denzel for Remember the Titans?
Yeah, he could have been on this list too. Walter Matthau was a genius in that role, so I'm going to disagree with you there. I think as much as I love Denzel, you could have put somebody else in that role, and the movie still would have been great. And I love Denzel, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. But I think other actors could have done that role. I think very few people could have done what Walter Matthau did in that movie. Just look at Billy Bob Thornton. Sorry. I don't know. This is a tough one. Gene Hackman in Hoosiers. I think to be honest with you, and I've seen all these movies many, many times, I would go Barry Pepper. I think it's the best, strongest performance of all those, and there's good ones in here. I thought Barry Pepper's performance in 61 was the best of that bunch.
I haven't watched it enough to.
Me neither, Jay. Me neither. I know it keeps popping up here. I'll have to watch it.
He was great. He was absolutely great. All right, we got 2 more categories real quick. We talked about this already, and there's only really 2 people that people are going to consider: the Lifetime Achievement Award. Joe, you want to read these off?
Yeah. We have Kevin Costner, Dennis Quaid, who we've seen already. Denzel Washington, there he is. Felix, Sylvester Stallone, and Will Smith.
Can you even consider the other 3? Felix is typing.
Yeah, sorry.
What are you typing? What are you searching?
I'm trying to see what else Stallone was in beside Rockies. And
Well, Rockies, that's enough. There's 19 of them in the over the top
Over-
one, the
Over the
arm
top.
wrestling one.
That's it.
But
he
just
was in Victory.
mhm. But again, are those other 3, should they even be considered compared to Costner and Dennis Quaid? I don't think so. I think it's between those 2, and I would go Dennis Quaid on this.
So my question is, and I'm not familiar with all of Dennis Quaid's sports movies, but is he the lead in all these roles?
He's in a
or is
lead
he
a
just-
lot in most of them. Everybody's All-American and The Rookie. I mean, he's a lead in over half of them, which would give just as much as Costner. And just the volume of work alone, I think is, and I think I remember looking at their rankings. I think all of them except for one are in the top 100 rankings. Kevin Costner just has those big ones with Field of Dreams and Bull Durham that are way up there. So you got to give
Tin
credence.
Cup.
Tin Cup, yeah. So you got to give him, credence to all that. But to me, I'd go Dennis Quaid because it's just, again, it seems more part of his DNA. But that's just me.
So, Jay, I'm just going to take a minute, and we may still lean that direction, no problem. Will Smith has some underrated sports movies here. Like he shows up when he shows up here with Ali, Bagger Vance, Concussion. If you got,
yeah.
and I'm surprised that didn't show up. That's a
Yeah.
fantastic movie as well. The new one, King Richard, is great, and I know Felix Jay said he hadn't seen it yet. Have you got a chance to see King Richard?
I have not seen that yet.
Yeah. Both highly recommended, you guys. So
Yeah, I've heard good things about King Richard. I because of that, I would probably. I know if you take all the Rockies out or just have one Rocky, I don't put Stallone in those. I'd put Will Smith in front of Sylvester Stallone. And Denzel has Remember the Titans, and he has the Hurricane, and I'm sure there's a couple other ones that he was in that. Felix is typing. I can hear him typing.
I'm trying to be quiet.
That's right. That's right.
Well, he was also in He Got Game.
Yeah,
He Got Game. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. I think, for the public, people might say, there might be a ton big Rocky fans out there. So this might be a lot closer than I think it would be or should be. I think it should be Costner and Quaid walking away, but it might not be. So, all right, it's time for the last award of the night. Best overall picture. Now I know we have a category, best picture comedy, best picture drama. We had to do it this way because there's just so many movies that and some of them you're going to see dominated for both. I think we probably have seen all these movies, maybe. So there's 4 of them. Yeah, I think we've talked about all of them. Major League, The Sandlot, Hoosiers, Brian Song, Bull Durham, 61, Remember the Titans, and A League of Their Own. So we've seen all these movies in other categories, in the comedy and drama and other categories. But these are the best of the best. I don't know if there's anything that I can think of that should be on this list outside. I don't know what I'd take off, but is there anything that stands out to you guys that should be on this list? Besides maybe Rocky. I think these are better than Rocky, but I know Rocky won Academy Award, but.
Yeah. I don't want to beat a dead horse, but where's $1 Million Baby? I digress.
Anything for you, Felix, besides Rocky?
I'm going to agree with him on $1 Million Baby and also Where is Hoop Dreams? Which, if you look at the list, is repeatedly number 1.
Yeah, no, it's always up there. Yeah, it's definitely always up there. You got to think. It's tough because this category is so deep, and popularity wise, these are going to be more popular than Hoop Dreams. With the general public and people that are just casual sports fan. So I can see why these are here. So I think Hoop Dreams was, one of the ones that we suggested. If I go back here.
And if you're going to have Major League, where's Caddyshack?
Yeah, that's the one I thought should definitely be on here. For me, I have Major League and Caddyshack 1 and 2 comedy wise. So yeah, I thought Caddyshack should have been on here as well. But again, you can't go wrong.
So, Jay,
I think it needs to be on there.
So, Jay, let me ask you, what do you think? What is your favorite, and what do you think is going to win? So, not based on your opinion. What do you think the public is going to choose here?
I think The Sandlot wins, just based on the popularity of The Sandlot. Links and stuff on the internet and the quotes, "You're killing me, Smalls," and the fact that it's a family movie.
It's
that
great,
a lot of my Colin who did the show with me last week, all his kids have watched The Sandlot, but they've watched Sandlot 3, which I don't know. When we got to best movies, by the way, we overlooked or didn't mention Major League Back to the Minors. It was really bad. I think Sandlot wins. If it was my pick, Again, not to be a dead horse. I'd pick Major League or Hoosiers, I think. Felix?
I would pick Bull Durham, but I still don't know why Caddyshack needs to be on this list because it would probably be the winner.
You think so?
Yeah.
Take a look. I'll see. Yeah, there's, we can add a couple more. It's my show. I can do what I want
I
to.
think it all depends on your voting demographic too.
Yeah, definitely. That's why I'm saying the Sandlot. That's why I'm.
If you have more 40s, 50,
I think
40s
it'll
and
be
50s
mostly that. I think it'll be mostly 30, 40, 50-year-olds.
You'll get more Major Leagues, Hoosiers. I think Titans and Bull Durham. You get more 20s and 30s.
Yeah.
You're going to see more Sandlot.
Yeah,
not-
definitely.
Brian's song is probably going to be would be my vote. Would be my pick for the least voted on, just because it's so far out
Yeah.
from a demographic standpoint.
Yeah, I'd say 61 probably is up there too, because just a lot of people don't know the movie
Or know the story, and Hoosiers might find that same fate too.
Yeah,
Just a little older than the demographic that's voting.
Yeah.
and,
People don't even know who Gail Sayers probably is anymore, Jason. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably don't even remember Emmett Smith if you're young, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. A League of Their Own is really popular with a wide range of people. So yeah, this one's going to be interesting. I think we will get Caddyshack added and probably $1 Million Baby to this category too. I will add both of those tonight. Screw the committee. Sorry.
Yeah. The one thing I say is the Sandlot. Look, that entertained us 25 years ago, and it's entertained our kids, and it'll probably entertain our grandkids. So it has a special holding power, that a lot of these movies do not. And also the most cut down quote here: "You hit like a girl." Oh no!
Yeah. The scene with Squints in the pool. And there's so much. That was my childhood. That was almost a carbon copy picture of my childhood. So that's a tough one. Well, I'll fix. So we got to add Hilary Swank to Best Actress or Best Female in a Lead Role, and we got to add Caddyshack and $1 Million Baby, and $1 Million Baby also to Best Drama. I'll fix that momentarily, and we'll get those out there. The voting actually starts in 3 minutes. Actually, there's a post scheduled on our Facebook page. So if you go to Sports Bias with Cleveland J Facebook page, the link will post in 3 minutes. I will fix that. So if you want to wait a couple minutes, if you want to vote on those categories, again, you're going to have all the categories. You don't have to pick them all. Nothing is required. So you can pick what categories and hold off, or maybe you want to watch some of them or watch the trailers or clips or do some research. But if there's categories you want to go on right now and just go with your gut and your passion, you can do that in 3 minutes. And from here, we'll start sending out some posts on individual categories. So you'll see a post for just Best Picture, just Best Female in a Lead Role, and things like that. So we'll get that fixed. Anything you guys want to end with? Anything that's glaring to you that's missing other than what we just talked about? Felix?
I don't think so. Not at the moment. Talk to me tomorrow, and I'll say, "Oh, we forgot this or we forgot that." But right now,
I'm really good at that. I was never one of those people that can think right on the spot and be like, "Oh yeah, I should have said that." All right. What about you, Joe?
No, Jay, it was, my brain's tapped out on trying to recall, but it was a lot of fun, man. It was great catching up with you, reminiscing. Jason, getting to meet you. I've been entertained by you guys, and it's great to participate. So thanks for having me.
Oh, there's more coming. I'm sure there's more coming.
All right.
Yeah, so we're going to have a whole month long of promotions. We're probably going to do some other videos. You might see Felix again. You'll definitely see Joe. Joe and I will pop on and probably do some of those categories we didn't do with best quotes and best scene. And I'm sure Felix, being opinionated, is going to jump in and put his 2 cents in on the comments.
Just let me know when and where.
But we will ask you, or I will ask you, to please share the posts. If you're watching on Facebook, they'll also be on Twitter. They'll be on Instagram as well. So please share the post. Get as many people. Tag your friends. Maybe some people that you have memories watching these movies with. Your parents, your kids. Watch some of these movies with your kids. This has been a fun project. It's just going to get better throughout the next month as we kind of dive a little bit deeper into them. And hopefully you take the time to watch some of these movies and not watch everything that's so new and some of these classics that we haven't seen or you haven't seen in a long time. Like I haven't seen Raging Bull in a long time, and I know I loved it, and I've watched clips, but I haven't seen the whole thing. So I have a whole list of ones I haven't seen, like The Fighter and some other ones. So I encourage you to do that. I think that's all I got.
Great.
All right.
Great, boys.
Great.
Cool. I am going to do this because I forgot to do it last time. I'm going to put the music back on the way out. So love you guys. Thanks for being on the show. Felix, thanks for coming back on the show. And Joe.
Oh, my pleasure.
A treat doing this with you again. You are my guy to do this with, and I'm so glad we've reconnected. And I know that we're not going to let that time go by again. And life's too short, and I'm glad you're back in my life. And this next month is going to be fun.
Right on, Jay. Perfect.
All right, guys.
Well said.
Night, guys.
See you guys.
All right. Bye.